It's looking like Donald Trump may need to sweep nearly every battleground state to reach 270 electoral votes tomorrow. He also obviously has to flip some blue states, or at least one. A Republican strategist tells the Wall Street Journal newspaper that Trump has to, quote, run the table. Analysts say he will probably also need to flip a Democratic-leaning state, because if you look at the big board again, the big board with all those electoral votes up there, if you look at that, Clinton has 274 in the lean Republican or solid Republican. So something has to flip. It's math, and something has to flip from light blue or blue over into yellow and then into some shade of red. The billionaire has said he has a shot to do that in Michigan and a shot to do that in Pennsylvania, states that haven't voted Republican in decades, but he'd have to make it happen. The polls there show he's still behind Hillary Clinton, but the polls have been wrong in the past, and he's only down by single digits in each of those states. So let's get analysis, context, and perspective from John Bussey, a journalist, the associate editor at the Wall Street Journal. These changes are significant.
Yeah, they are. Laura Meckler has that story in today's Wall Street Journal. You know, he has to run not just North Carolina, which Fox has just moved into a shade of red, but Ohio.
Moved to toss-up, but nonetheless.
Yeah, right, to toss-up. Ohio, Florida, plus, as you were pointing out, a state that has traditionally gone blue, gone Democrat, such as Michigan. You know, notably, they are pounding away at New Hampshire and Pennsylvania. Both of them are in those states today, Clinton and Trump. One reason is not only are they, they are various shades of toss-up, right? They're leaning, but they're still just leaning, and they both hope to get them. But neither of those two states have early voting. So all of the voters in those states still have to go to the polls. We've seen 40 million Americans already vote, some before this latest FBI news exonerating Clinton on her emails yesterday, Sunday. So they made their decisions before that news came out. Those two states have not yet, and you're seeing them pound away there.
Which of these do you see with the greatest possibility for a flip?
Well, I mean, he's hoping Michigan is that state. He's there again today. The Clinton lead is a narrow one. You know, most of these leads are narrow ones. That's why this is still a pretty tight race. You notice that he's not going out to Nevada. Now, why is that? I mean, it's a long schlep to get out there to begin with, but he's not put Nevada on his schedule today, in part because the early voting there was one of the notable moments of this campaign season. A very large Hispanic turnout in Nevada, in Clark County. The Harry Reid machinery in Nevada turning out the vote. And that now has, that was toss-up-ish, has now gone to a shade of blue. So we're going to watch as that Hispanic turnout moves through some of these other battleground states, notably Florida, some in North Carolina as well. If that emerges as big a factor as it was in Nevada, you might see it even being less of a shade of pink and more of a toss-up than we're expecting.
So you're saying that this thing really, in the last minutes, it really could go either way.
Well, I think it's some of these tight states for sure. And you know what he's counting on also is something that we can't necessarily calculate. I mean, a lot of the early voting calculations that have been made that say, hey, the Democrats are doing better in some states and Republicans in others, we don't know what the crossover vote's going to be.
No,
People who have registered as Democrats, but for whatever political reason they have, they want to vote to Donald Trump, or Republicans voting Clinton. But I would say if his strength has been in the white, male, non-college educated voter, that there's a lot of those that have traditionally gone Democrat that could easily go Trump.
And we'll be with you all night tomorrow night on the Fox Broadcast Network. My team and I, plus all of our guests, will be with you, depending on where you are in the country, all of prime time and late into the night, on the Fox Broadcast Network, just down the dial, the same Fox where you get football and you get Chris Wallace on Sunday mornings. You'll have us tomorrow night for more hours than you can stomach. I hope you'll be with us.